people of different languages are present here, but since this is the international conference, it will have a record. It has a relationship with the COP. So like the other sessions of today's conference, we will conduct this session in English. I hope everyone will cooperate with us in this case. First of all, I wish everyone a good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Please accept our wishes according to where you are. For those who want to talk, I request you to raise your hand. There is a raise hand button. I hope everyone can easily recognize it. And then we will give the opportunity to talk. You can also express your opinion by writing in the chat box. Welcome to this special session of Gobeshona Global Conference 2. Greetings and respect to all those who are watching, listening, and commenting on us through various means. This session is special because there is disaster in this session, there is youth, and there are vulnerable areas. These aspects are, or perspectives are very important. So we would like to express our sincere gratitude to all those who have joined us, realizing the importance of this subject. Let me share this screen first. I hope everyone can see my screen clearly. So the session is, we want to make today's session as participatory as possible. The two of us basically, our initial plan was to talk in a different way, but later on we have changed it. We want to give everyone a chance to leave messages in the chat box, and the session is being broadcast live on the social media page of the organization, the conference page, as well as the social media page of Probha Aurora. As a result, we request everyone to write questions and comments in the chat box, preparing youth for disaster management in vulnerable areas. Thank you for participating in today's special session once again on this topic. So we kept the subject a little different. Before then, we changed the subject a little bit. The topic of our session is preparing youth for disaster management in vulnerable areas. If it's a physical event, maybe we want to know who we are and what we understand about it first. There is that opportunity here too. I request everyone to write comments on this in the chat box. We will read some comments from the chat box from time to time. What we are talking about is that we do not know everything here. We also have a lot of unknowns there maybe. I hope you all will enrich us with important comments by adding that part. We were supposed to have a speaker present, but he could not be present at the last minute due to special problems. That is why we are apologizing. So at the beginning, I am introducing myself. I am Bidhan Chandropal, founder and managing director of Probha Aurora. I have been working on various environmental issues for almost 30 years now. Besides, I have been working with youth and volunteers for a long time. As a result, much of the experience I will share here today will be based on the experience I and we have had through our work, actually. So my colleagues, Mr. Rakibuzzaman Bhuiya and Sadman Jahur are assisting me in conducting this session. I would like to thank two of them, including others who are playing the supporting role on behalf of the organizing committee and ICAT. So we will limit our discussion to the topic of this session, first of all, I would say that the concern about global climate change is nothing new, but this issue has come to the notice of the public recently. Now, when something unusual happens in the weather, our tendency is to blame global climate change for it. There is no doubt now that many of these are really early signs of a greenhouse effect. Although not all weather events or accidents can be blamed. Until recently, however, policymakers around the world had different views on the importance of climate change, even among some scientists. That situation is gone, and now the issue has become one of the most urgent issues for everyone in the world, even for world leaders. This change is due to the rapid progress of research, I might say, on this subject. Recent findings from research have made it clear that climate change is no longer possible for anyone to remain indifferent to. Climate change threatens to wreak havoc on all peoples of the world in the future. And the only way to remedy this is to bring about a major change in the way people live all over the world right now. That is why every human being needs awareness. Climate change is and will be, this awareness alone is not enough. Rather, we need to be aware of what is really is, what it really is, and how we know it, what we do today, what we can do in the future. So the process of climate change is not going to a straight line, I should say, and it is becoming more and more intense at compounding rate, creating considerable uncertainty. So one of the consequences of this is the possibility of unfavorable conditions ahead at a unimaginable speed. That's the decent thing to do, and it should end here. So in such a context, it is really important to prepare the youth to deal with disasters during special times, especially in vulnerable areas. If I say why, then all of you can easily guess and realize the importance. In a word, I just want to say that the youth of any country, not only Bangladesh, of any country, is one of the vitality and the source of infinity potential. In the right direction, truly utilize their capabilities in dealing with disasters, then any nation can benefit from it. So our present presentation, today's thinking has been formulated in the light of this. Hopefully, we will see new optimism instead of despair or disappointment from here. So if I am not mistaken, the country's 19 coastal districts have been identified as at risk due to climate change. I am showing you a map right now where you can easily see this. These districts are declared as risky considering cyclones, tidal surges, flood, propensity, and poverty. Disaster management has become the most important issue at present. Natural disaster occur every year in the geographical condition of Bangladesh. So some special areas are also highlighted on the map. However, it is sad but true that in this case also there is a lack of recent information. You have already seen the data we are showing is from 2012. So uh, uh, so we feel that there is a lack of recent information which needs to be updated regularly. And disaster management means conducting disaster prevention, disaster preparedness, and disaster response and recovery activities. Here, I'm showing you a chart where the 5 steps of disaster management or planning are showing. So prevention, if I'd like to say about prevention, it is not possible to completely prevent natural disasters that we all know. However, talking precautionary measures to reduce the amount of disaster damage, such as construction and repair or embankments, construction of shelters, construction of paved and strong schools and houses, river excavation, etc. Structural disaster mitigation is quite costly, which is difficult for a developing country like Bangladesh to build without. Uh, Obviously, now we are not. Now we are already. Uh, 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 Already. How can I say? Gradually improved our position as a country, but we need support to do something in this regard. On the other hand, non-structural disaster prevention activities such as disaster management training, raising public awareness, preparedness, etc., can be done at relatively low cost. And regarding mitigation, disaster mitigation is the process of reducing the incident of disasters through long-term measures and taking pre-disaster preparedness. So disaster mitigation activities include construction of fortified buildings and infrastructure, crop diversification, land use, disaster mitigation strategies, economic development, relocation of people to low-risk areas. So although long-term disaster mitigation is costly, the government with limited resources continues to carry out construction of embankments, river degrading, construction of shelters, afforestation, etc. So regarding preparedness, pre-preparedness means taking pre-disaster measures to reduce the damage and risk of disasters during a disaster. So identification of risky areas and communities, formulation of disaster management plans, provision of necessary equipment and resources for emergency response, drill or road play performance and roads, vehicles, wireless devices, torch batteries and necessary medicines, etc. So response, regarding response, if I would like to say, it is necessary to respond immediately after the disaster. So response refers to evacuation, search and rescue, assessment of damage and relief and rehabilitation activities. So recovery uh, is the uh, recovery of pre-disaster recovery through the reconstruction of the damage caused to all organic and inorganic resources, natural environment, social and economic infrastructures, etc., by the disaster. So this requires the help and assistance of government and non-government voluntary organizations and international organizations. And apart from these, there is another issue that many experts add to this circle, which is development. Immediately after the disaster stricken, after stricken area is restored, development activities must be undertaken on the basis of the geographical and environmental features of that particular area. So pre-disaster preparedness work must be done to deal with the disaster, which helps the residents of the affected areas to build disaster resistance. Other components of disaster management, such as response, recovery, mitigation, development, prevention, preparedness activities, need to be carried out during the immediately after the disaster. So the issues I am going to mention now are related to each of its component in one way or another. So uh, we are uh, we are basically a youth-focused social enterprise for environmental protection and climate change solutions. And that means we are Probha Aurora, and the issue of climate is the most important one. So we want to work on the issue in a focused way. So we are also working on some environmental issues. Our name and the meaning of the name are also very important. We have named ourselves keeping the mind the global context. Probha means you may find detailed information from our website www.probhaaurora.com, and that is Probha means light and Aurora is the rising sun, and that is the full name means the light of the rising sun. One is a Bengali word and the other is Latin. As a result, we are working with a global but local context in mind. We are a social enterprise, and we have done a lot of events in Corona virtually, and we have made a very brief presentation of what Probha Aurora has done with selected few of them. So I am highlighting it here for everyone's information. Uh, Let me show you. Yeah, here it is. So thank you very much. Actually, uh, uh, running our organization, we are running our organization for 2 years, but in that we have done everything we can through our skills, actions, or as much as we can. It really inspiring. Our team is young and experienced, so we hope and believe with the cooperation of all we can go much further. And uh, many of us know more or less the subject uh, actually that has been discussed for so long. So uh, sorry, sorry for the trouble. Just 1 minute. Okay. So here we are. I hope you all can see this. So what I would like to say that many of us know more or less the subject that has been discussed, um, uh, that I am discussing so far. But where are the real gaps in that context, and what is Probha Aurora we are doing and want to do institutionally? That is what I will highlight now. So integrated central database is a requirement for disaster management. And this is the gap we are noticing, where data pools need to be used online and offline. We note that there is a need to build bridges between stakeholders such as policymakers, donors, academia, and all types of national and international concerned authorities. In the case of pre and post disaster, there is a need to further strengthen community engagement activities, strengthen utilization of disaster training through follow-up mechanism. We have seen in our experience that it is also very necessary. And create a nationwide professional volunteers pool for crisis response. This is also very important. And this doesn't mean that there is no such pool right now. Different organizations are managing it in their own way. If I would like to say uh, uh, regarding police, regarding fire brigade, regarding BDRCS, different organizations are have their own pool and they are maintaining it by their own way. And both government and non-government initiatives are there, and the need for so much integration is immense now, through which it will be possible to make proper use of one's ability. Similarly, work can be done to eliminate one's shortcomings. And with regular practice, it will be possible to transform one into a real and professional volunteer. So we mentioned this because we know there's a lot lot of things are going on in disaster. Uh, Many are conducting many important activities, and here are the gaps where we want to contribute, or where we have the strength and where we started working. So regarding our current activities, so what we are doing here, one of the things we started with focus areas in mind was establishing the eco-friendly center Shobuj Sathi. I hope you have already seen the picture of Shobuj Sathi where former Bangladesh government launched the event. So through this, we have ensured the availability of eco-friendly products. At the same time, we have started product-based research through which the high carbon emitting products will be identified, and awareness will be created to reduce it. Eco-friendly center, we are running a physical center on Khilji Road in Mohammadpur, Dhaka. We invite everyone who lives in Dhaka to visit. We also launched the country's first eco-friendly products and green logistics e-commerce platform last month, which we hope to start in full-fledged from next month. Its name www.shobujsathi.net. So what we are also doing through the activities of this center is establishing linkages with the disaster affected community, which is helping them to rebuild their economic empowerment, enhancing economic capacity of women in vulnerable areas. Most of our products are imported from women in vulnerable areas in Bangladesh. Strengthening evidence for sustainable local solutions, we regularly conduct product-based research. As a result, on the basis of evidence, we try to create action or solutions and change ourselves accordingly. And through this, we are trying to find the definition of green logistics. You all know that green logistics is a big phenomenon right now all over internationally, and sorting out the products that reduce carbon emissions. We have also started creating separate packages for individuals, for homes, and for offices. And that is why we are going to start the work of making a carbon emission tracker in collaboration with the ICT Ministry. And a lot of work is being started internationally on all these issues. And maybe there is particular work in this regard. Now we reasonably predict that, and we are expecting the cooperation of all those like-minded organizations and initiatives through this conference today. And apart from this, the activities that we are conducting in the light of this issue are mobilizing stakeholders for integrated central database on disaster management. And that is why we have completed many meetings at government and private levels. We also regularly exchange knowledge on existing systems and practices. We learned what an organization actually has, what kind of database it is, and so on. So catalyzing professionalism among volunteers, we are also doing this work with importance. We have done several important researches in COVID-19, where partners were UNICEF, John Hopkins, and the World Health Organization under a pillar, you all know that, risk communication and community engagement pillar. So we are closely engaged to that pillar, and professional volunteers from all over the country have participated in all these researches, through whom we have trained and whose practical experience has been accumulated. So we are currently holding regular sensitization meetings on what could be the role of a teenager and a young adult in a disaster. And we are also working on capacity building. We are working virtually, and also right now we are starting work physically, and definitely different parts of our country, different regions. So we may not have enough time today. So if anyone is interested in learning more about this, we can talk more in detail later. You all can email us, or different media you can connect us. So regarding future activities, we see a lot of potential in the future. In all these activities, for example, National Hub or of eco-friendly products of Bangladesh will be a really important initiative. And being able to make it a national hub of eco-friendly products of Bangladesh, for Bangladesh, would be a truly significant undertaking. We can also arrange export to the interested countries. Uh, we request for that, and values can be added to the model, keeping in the mind the care of plants, greens, and animals. Consolidate interoperability of integrated central database on disaster management. This is also very important, which all these in mind, is important to work on policy, structure, system, and practice. So the man who is currently in charge at the Shobuj Sathi center is a handicapped, and floods and natural disasters uh, had to calm him down twice. Uh, uh, Even then, he did not give up. He is much better off than he has been since he joined Probha Aurora. I mean, Shobuj Sathi, he said.
আসসালামু আলাইকুম, আমি মোহাম্মদ মুখলিসুর রহমান। আমার বাসা উত্তরাঞ্চলের দিনাজপুর জেলা নবাবগঞ্জ থানায়। আমি মূলত প্রথমে আমার একটু সমস্যার কথা বলি। আমি একজন প্রতিবন্ধী মানুষ। দেশে থাকা অবস্থায় আমি মূলত ক্ষেত খামারে কাজ করতাম এবং এটাতে কোনো রকমের জীবিকা নির্বাহ করতাম। কিন্তু 1990 সালের প্রবল বন্যাতে আমাদের অনেক ক্ষয়ক্ষতি হয়ে যায়। সেখানে কর্মসংস্থান প্রায় হারিয়ে যেতে বসে এবং তারপরে আমরা কাটিয়ে ওঠার চেষ্টা করি। কিন্তু পরবর্তীতে ঘূর্ণিঝড় একটা আসে এবং ঘূর্ণিঝড়ের ইয়াতে আমার অনেক ক্ষয়ক্ষতি হয় এবং আমার কর্মসংস্থান পুরোপুরি শেষ হয়ে যায়। এবং তারপরে বাধ্য হয়ে আমি ঢাকাতে চলে আসি এবং এখানে এসে আমি সবুজ সাথীর সঙ্গে যুক্ত হই এবং সবুজ সাথীর সঙ্গে যুক্ত হয়ে আমার একটা কর্মসংস্থানের সৃষ্টি হয় এবং এই কর্মসংস্থান সৃষ্টি হওয়ার ফলে আমি পারিবারিক যে আমার অসচ্ছলতা ছিল সেটা কাটিয়ে উঠছি। এবং এই সবুজ সাথী শুধু আমি না, দেশের বিভিন্ন এলাকার অনেক এরকম মঙ্গাপীড়িত এলাকার অনেক মানুষ, অনেক ছেলে মেয়ে এখানে কর্মসংস্থানের সুযোগ পাইছে। এবং আমাদের এই প্রতিষ্ঠানে আরও একটা দিক যেটা না বললেই নয়, যে এখানে যে সমস্ত প্রোডাক্ট বিক্রি হয় আর কি, সে সমস্ত প্রোডাক্ট আমরা সেই সমস্ত জায়গা থেকে মানে সংগ্রহ করার চেষ্টা করেছি যেখানে হয়তো মঙ্গা পীড়িত এলাকা বা দেখা যাচ্ছে সেখানে কর্মসংস্থানে কোনো নাই। আমরা তাদেরকে কর্মসংস্থানের সুযোগ দিচ্ছি এবং তারা ওই পণ্য সরবরাহ করে তাদেরও কর্মসংস্থান হচ্ছে। আমি এটুকুই বলবো যে প্রভা অরোরা আমি এবং আরও অনেকের কর্মসংস্থানের সুযোগ সৃষ্টি করেছে, এজন্য আমি নিজেও কৃতজ্ঞ।
So সবুজ সাথী, you can all realize his uh, extraordinary speech, and uh, we were asked to give actually a few messages for COP27 from the organizing organization. So here are some of the messages we want to convey through this presentation. The main thing we want to say is tackling climate change is a shared responsibility between developed and developing countries. And under this, we want to convey some important messages to everyone. These are local capacity building for sustainable solutions and listening to youth voices, uh, support evidence creation and linkage with action, in particular for promoting eco-friendly products, and promote international technical know-how and financial support in identification of high carbon emitting products, industry development of eco-friendly products, and hopefully the field we have started working on, which will be enriched with the participation and support of all of you. And by working together, we can make our beloved Bangladesh and the world more beautiful and livable. Sincere thanks to everyone for listening to me attentively. Thank you very much. Now, I request my colleague Sadman Johu to read out some selected comments if we received any. So, Sadman, have we received any comments? Or you can, anyone, you can raise your hand and ask your comments or questions if you have any. 2 hours a lot of time. We hope to hear from you all. And Sadman.
Yes, thank you for letting me speak in an international conference, Ditanda. And at first, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Muhammad Salman Zuhur, and I'm currently working at Probha Aurora I'm currently working at Probha Aurora in the business development and marketing team. And as far as I can tell, there has been one message for our session, and it's from I think it's from Aftara Mirza, and she said amazing work with Shabut Shafi. And so far I am not seeing any other messages in our chat box regarding our session, and hopefully we'll get some more as the time passes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And I'm sure there are a lot of questions in the chat box. Many have also commented on social media, and maybe not now, maybe later on. And thanks to Sadman. So we are not reading right now all the other questions which maybe we received from other social medias, because live streaming is going on. So maybe there has few comments which we don't know. However, we would like to express our sincere thanks and appreciation to everyone for participating in this session and for cooperating with us. In light of the presentation, I would like to add something which is very necessary and related, because we have time, so we may discuss about it. And every rich fauna made of many different species of plants, animals, and many other creatures is the wealth of our world. We know that. And our own lives are uh, inextricably linked with this biodiversity. But now it is clear that this biodiversity is disappearing at an unusually fast rate. Many of its species are becoming extinct forever. This is an uh, uh, irreparable loss for the world, and how can I say, and a thunderbolt for us. Biodiversity thrives on us in so many ways that its degradation will make life increasingly problematic and jeopardize our future. But the biggest reason for the extinction of this creature is we humans, and this is happening as a result of uh, unbridled expansion of our settlements, urbanization, agricultural expansion, industrialization, extraction of natural resources, etc. In this way, we are shrinking the habitat of other living beings, making them impossible to survive by causing pollution and destroying their um, um, offspring by killing them uh, recklessly. Now we can see with our own eyes that many of the known animals and plants are becoming extinct, and many more are inevitably on the verge of extinction. So scientists are able to present a picture of the extinctions that we cannot see directly through research, and that is very alarming. Uh, 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 as a result of human activity, the sea level is rising. We all know that. Uh, uh, it's rising faster than ever before, and the ice is melting. At the same time, different species of animals are changing their habitat. The level of carbon emission is increasing due to the disappearance of ice cover. As a result, the situation is becoming more dangerous day by day. Uh, as a result, long ago, if I'm not wrong, in uh, uh, 2019, the United Nations issued a red alert about the future of the world. Uh, I hope everyone remembers that. So as a result, through the initiative we have talked about, we can undoubtedly reduce the damage caused by natural disasters, and the possibility of man-made disasters can be greatly reduced. And through this, we can all run towards a fair and beautiful life. Yeah, I have also seen the question. One question came from Afsara Mirza. What are our plans to engage the youth? How far along we are in the process? Okay, through my talk, you will get the answer, I hope. And the world, which I'm talking about, the world community now agrees that. Thank you for your important comment. Uh, uh, Actually, the world community now agrees that everything possible must be done at the individual, national, and global levels to protect biodiversity. If this aspect is not taken into consideration in our development process, there will be no sustainable development. But in the future, the world will gradually become uninhabitable. For this, we need to control the necessity economic activities, especially the level of use of livestock, everyone should be uh, 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 should be accustomed to using eco-friendly things, which we have already mentioned so far, by changing our behavior, by eliminating materials like plastic. And after all, what I think from everyone's words, especially Apsara, that there is nothing to be disappointed about yet. We still have a lot to do. We have the capabilities and technology. We have new ideas, and right now we are capturing ideas from different parts of our country, from our youths, and for that we are organizing different types of initiatives, including webinars, focus group discussions right now going on. And the work that we have started on a small scale now needs to be taken on a larger scale. And this will require everyone's cooperation and advice, and hope and believe we will get it. And thanks to everyone who took part in today's session. And I am especially grateful to ICAT for organizing such an important conference. Hopefully in the near future, we will work together on all these issues. And uh, those who saw us in different ways, heard our words, uh, 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 um, how can I say, these words of a self, I would like to say that those who saw us in different ways heard our words, a self-imposed request to them. These words of ours should not end in one day. We want to do good. We expect everyone to be there and with us. Many thanks to everyone who helped us manage this session. COVID-19 not gone yet. As a result, there is a need to adhere to hygiene rules, and hope we all do that consciously. And here another question I have found: do you have a plan to provide training on green development, green skills for disaster management? Yes, we have a plan, and but in a different way we are interested in. And please do contact us, and we will have a separate meeting in this regard. Thank you very much for your important question. And last but not least, such an important conference is also a significant step forward during the COVID period. We sincerely thank the organizers, especially Dr. Salimul Haq, for giving us the opportunity to have such a session. Thank you very much. Thank you all.